Imagine my chagrin, my horror, my, I don't even know the right word, my dismay when they showed a preview for another episode and not for the damn reunion next. What is going on, Carlos? Like, seriously, what is going on? Why would there be another episode next week? Why? That seems Stormy family censored. Absolutely not. Y'all might not get a recap next week because I'm not talking about Stormy's family. No. No, her mama's abrasive. Her mama do too much. You act like, no, we don't care enough about Stormy's family. Not to come in the 31st hour, literally the 31st hour. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 30. Houston, we have a Kiki. Carlos, we have a problem. Should have been the name of this. What's the problem? We are on episode 3,275 of this season. Why? Whatever, y'all. If you're brand new to the channel, I break down TV shows, one recap at a time. If you're interested in that type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button for me. Thumbs up the video. Leave some comments down below so we can talk about everything that happened. Earlier this week, I did hit my goal of 20,000 subscribers. So, thank you to each and every one of you that has subscribed to the channel, shared, comment, liked, watched, any of that type of stuff. I appreciate you guys more than you know. All right. So let's keep it going. I mean, what would be next? 25,000 is up next. I guess that's the next rational goal. But thank you guys so much. But let's talk about this episode. All right. Okay, so we're starting with the first activity at the meetup, which is the trust fall. So they're deciding who they're gonna have fall back, and y'all know how to do trust falls. Somebody stands behind you, you have to trust that that person's gonna catch you. So the first group that they have is Tisha is supposed to fall back into Stormy's arms. She doesn't trust her. Here's my issue with that. Out of this entire situation, right? The only two people that should honestly and truly think that the other person that they're matched up with will not catch them is Melody and Martell. Everybody else, Stormy's not gonna let you fall, right? Courtney knew that Marcel was not gonna let him fall. Um, we knew that. Y'all should have known that, but whatever the case. Melody was supposed to fall into Martell. She threw herself on the floor. Melody was not going to catch Martell. So he knew better. So he, of course, copied her and just kind of, fell back. Tisha basically almost didn't want to catch Stormy. Tisha like took a step back, and it's like Tisha does little stuff like that, and then she wonders why people don't really fool with her the way that she thinks that people should fool with her. So while this is going on, sorry y'all, I'm getting over a cold. So while this is going on, Kiki comes in, hola, hola, I'm here, what? And it's like, please. Come on in quietly. They already don't know you here. Half of them already don't want you here. But Kiki comes in. Nell said that she invited Kiki so that she can move forward with everyone. Kiki said, Kiki takes the floor and apologizes to everybody that was at the barbecue that day for the ruckus that she caused. She apologizes directly to Kimmy and Maurice for disrespecting their house, and she apologizes to Letitia for throwing a drink in her face. Now, Maurice said he accepts it, and then Kimmy was like, "It's been a month. The apology should have come right away." While I agree with that, right? Either you're going to accept an apology or you're not. So either you're going to say, give me a minute to think about this because, it is taking you a while to get here. And then maybe you have a conversation with her later. You know what I mean? To talk and to get to the root of that conversation and that apology. But if you accept the apology, there shouldn't be a but even though that comes along after it, right? My opinion. Tisha said, sure, I guess, when they asked if she accepted her apology, but then she walks out and she's upset. So Marcel goes out after her, and Tisha basically feels that Nell should have let her know that Kiki was coming, and she should have. She absolutely should have. If you're gonna invite somebody who assaulted me, right? If you're gonna invite somebody who assaulted me, you're gonna invite somebody that blatantly disrespected me by throwing liquor in my face. The least you can do is tell me. The very least you can do is give me a heads up about this. Nell is now upset because she doesn't want anybody to be mad at her. So she goes crying out to Marcel and Tisha. Tisha said that she would have expected a conversation and she feels betrayed. Nell said that, this went against her will, but she knows that Kiki had talked to Mel. And when she said that, it immediately put a bug in Tisha's ear to think that Melody knew that Kiki was coming and that Melody invited her. I saw on sorry y'all. Hold on. I saw on Twitter a lot of people were saying that Melody did when they showed the flashback later. I think some of y'all gotta be real about the fact that y'all just don't like some of these people. So y'all see what y'all want to see. Melody tells Kiki you should talk to Miss Nell and see what Miss Nell thinks about it, and maybe she'll invite you. That's not Melody inviting Kiki. I saw people say that Melody should have never told Kiki about the trip. Do y'all really think that production wasn't gonna tell her? Like, let's use a little, okay? Let's use our thinkers up there, guys. So Nell apologizes to Tisha, said that she's gonna do whatever she can to make it right. But Nell is making it seem as if it was such a horrendous, hard decision for her, and if it was Nell, then you shouldn't have let her come. You know what I mean? If you really felt that this was a such a terrible decision that just gutted you, you know what I mean? That just tore you out, just broke you to pieces. Why did you let her come? You didn't seem broken up about it when you were talking to Fletcher. Okay. So Nell goes in and goes back to the group and tells the group, Kiki, you can't stay in the house. They don't want you to stay. Stormy pipes up, well, that's fine. She can stay with us. Nobody asked you though, Stormy. See, this is I'm not gonna do it. Stormy said that Kiki could stay with her. Kiki said that she wasn't going to stay at the house anyways, okay? So now Melody is looking confused because a lot of what's happening with this episode is a lot of, oh, I thought, insinuations, guesstimations, whatever you want to call it, but everything but actual facts and truth happened initially, right? So Kiki said, but what she's not going to do is be told where she can and cannot go by certain people in the group. And she's talking about Marceau and Tisha. I don't know where you're going with that, Kiki, but if you're being told by the host of the house, you can't stay in the house, that has nothing to do with Tisha and Marceau. Ultimately, that decision has to come from Nell. Where is Martell's little friend? Where is his friend girl that came over last night? Is she gone already? I mean, we ain't getting no other mention of her or nothing, huh? Okay. So it now turns into Melody asking, did Tisha and Marceau like blatantly say that they don't want Kiki there? So Marceau was like, this is just like a violation. It's a violation. You knew that Kiki was coming. Melody was like, no, I didn't. I didn't know she was coming. So then it turns into Marceau and Martell going back and forth. It was a lot of talking, a lot of fast talking, a lot of over talking, a lot of loud talking, right? So Martell is screaming that nobody ever asked Melody if she cheated on him or not. Nell is telling Martell to hold himself accountable. So at this point, Kiki, Kimmy, and Melody have walked out the room. Everybody else is still there. So they're going back and forth. Nell is yelling back and forth with Martell. They are this close, much like they were at her house. Chris Fletcher is like this watching. And I'm thinking, there by no way in hell would my father allow another man to yell in my mama's face like that. My daddy would have put that man through the fucking door. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. The fact that Chris was just standing there, I guess, drawing an imaginary line, and it's like you and your tucked in t-shirt, sir, and your sweatpants. I just this scene was annoying. This entire situation was annoying to me. So Nell then goes in to where Melody is like warming up some food and asks her, "Did you ever cheat on Martell?" And Nell is like, I mean, Melody is like, "What? No. I talked to somebody when my marriage was over and I didn't go back." So that is what Melody is standing on. If that's what she's standing on, that's what she's standing on. Okay? So so then the rest of the group comes in. Martell, Nell tells Martell, "I just asked Melody on camera if she ever cheated on you. Are you happy now? Are you good now?" Martell is like, "I don't even care about that part. I want to know why you're not on my side, why you're so on her side." At some point, Nell is screaming because I'm a woman first. And here's the thing. I don't think it's that people think it's far fetched that Melody might have cheated, right? The issue is, Martell, you cheated and produced a child. And we saw it we saw it play out on TV. Whether or not Melody took you back, you cheated. We have the proof, right? The ocular proof. We can see it. That is why people are telling you that you ruined your marriage. So Martell is upset about this because why is everybody telling him? Sorry, y'all. Why is everybody telling him that he's the one that ruined the marriage and he did this and he did this when Melody cheated too? And I guess my whole thing is, Martell, you aren't taking accountability if that's always your default, right? Now, if there were irrefutable proof that Melody did cheat, yes, I can see how that would be annoying, but Martell knows he doesn't have proof. That's the thing. Because Martell even goes on to say that just because you don't find out anything doesn't mean that person hasn't cheated. So he's saying that when, Melody started, coming home later and going out with her friends, and he's doing all this like speculation with no absolute proof. Nell then said that Melody has never asked them to pick sides, but Martell has. And Martell is like, yeah, because y'all are taking her side because y'all aren't asking her the questions. At some point, Melody outlines a separation in 2017 when they cheated and when she doesn't. Someone's going to come in the comments to say she stayed with them. She did. Some of y'all have taken back y'all man and cheated on y'all too. I don't know why people seem to hold Melody to a different standard, right? Yet she stayed with him, had another child with him, all on TV, before they finally got a divorce. Martell having that fifth child was probably where she drew the line, okay? So Tisha, who is mad at Melody right now, right? Because she heard the small inkling that Melody knew Kiki was going to be there. So instead of her being an adult, being the 41-year-old woman that she is, and going over to Melody and saying, "Hey, did you know Kiki was going to come?" Tisha doesn't know how to do that. So instead of her doing that, she decides Martell never asked us to pick sides. He just said right is right and wrong is wrong. No, Martell absolutely did ask y'all to pick sides. We have seen it. I don't know if they forget that what they're doing and saying is on camera. We have seen Martell ask y'all to take sides. We have. We have. There's no way that he asked Fletcher and Nell to take sides and not y'all. And Martell didn't have to ask. Y'all picked a side. Y'all, every time that Melody asked y'all not to bring it up, y'all picked a side. Every time you threw in Melody's face that Martell had that side chick and that side baby, y'all picked a side. Y'all have picked a side. So let's stop. So then Stormy and Martell start going back and forth, with Stormy being like, no, you cheated on her first. You're the one that ruined your marriage. Martell is screaming at these women at the top of his lungs, making absolutely no sense. Because all he's saying over and over and over and over and over is she cheated first, but then he has no proof about it. If they were separated, they were separated. You know what I mean? So Martell then asked Nell, when she was separated from Fletcher for the 18 to 24 months, almost 2 years, did she sleep with someone else? She said no, because she was waiting on Fletcher to come back. And Martell is like, oh, but Melody a week later. So basically, Martell is mad that Melody didn't wait around for him. That's what it sounds like. It's not the fact that Martell really wants to prove that she cheated. Martell is upset that Melody didn't sit back, let him keep playing with Ariane, let him keep playing with whoever else he was messing around with at the time, doing God knows what, and wait for him. She didn't. She moved on, and it's bothering him. It's unnatural. It's unhealthy the way that this man is screaming at the top of his lungs. She cheated too, but when you bring up his cheating, he wants to talk about how it's been 3 years. Quit having these two people in the same room, y'all. Stop. Because while Melody can ignore him just fine and dandy, Martell does not have the emotional intelligence to leave this lady alone. So while this is going on, Melody is talking to Marcel, and it's like, I did not know that Kiki was coming. So he's like, you need to tell Tisha. Or Tisha can bring her grown ass over and talk. Where was all the voice Tisha had before? It's annoying how Tisha has so much to say, so much bumping of the gums in the confessional, and she can do all this talking to Kimmy, but when somebody is in front of her, Melody's not on no rah-rah right now. You could have simply went and asked her, hey, did you know Kiki was coming? It's a quick conversation, but Melody goes a step forward, tells tells Tisha she didn't know that Kiki was coming since she hadn't talked to Kiki in a couple of weeks. We see the flashback. In my opinion, and I'm not even a Melody stan because I think everybody on the show is annoying, but from the way that clip looked, she didn't invite Kiki. She told Kiki, we're going on a trip. Maybe call Miss Nell and see if she'll invite you. I don't know how that is an issue. I don't. So then we get the horseback riding scene. This episode, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. I feel like 45 of those minutes was the argument in the house. But then we're at the horseback riding scene. Kimmy's scared to ride the horses. I think there is a healthy amount of fear in getting on a horse. I'm not scared to get on a horse, but I don't ever knock anybody that is. So they have a group therapy session right after. The doctor wants to know about the tense energy. Nell said that the situation with Kiki. She outlines everything that happened, from the drinks getting thrown and her showing up and this happening and this happening. They asked Kiki, how does she feel about everything. Kiki said she don't have nothing to say. She said that she did what she was supposed to do, which was apologize. If they don't want to accept an apology, there's nothing I can do about that. But I did what I was supposed to do. In this site, okay, you did what you were supposed to do, right? You apologized. What Kiki is missing is just because you say sorry does not mean I have to accept it, right? I think the bigger issue is that Tisha does not honestly accept Kiki's apology, and she should have said that. So Marcel has to speak up for her because, Tisha can't speak. So Stormy is like, look, Kiki's been here on good energy, and the past just keeps being thrown in her face. Like, why don't we give these people a chance to, like, move forward? Here's the thing, though, Stormy. You can't get your mama and her sister to talk. You can't get that. We're gonna see the results of your failing at that next episode. Get out these people's familial business. Get out of it. I know family members. I have family members that do not speak, that have not spoken in years since my grandmother died. Years. Right? My mom doesn't speak to one of her sisters. My mom does not talk to her older sister. As a matter of fact, my aunt doesn't talk to any of us. It's not just my mom or her sister. My aunt doesn't talk to any of us, right? If I saw my aunt out in the street, in the stores, would I go speak to her? Absolutely. Do I think she would talk to me? Absolutely. Do I think she would talk to any of her other siblings? I don't. I don't. That's how the relationship has gotten since my grandmother has passed. Big mama dies and the family just falls the fuck apart. That's what happens. And I feel like Stormy needs to stay out of this. This is not your business. Hell, you barely even know Kiki the way that you're caping for her. Stormy just want a friend on the show. Marceau said, look, we're leaving the door open because of love. But the time is not now. The time is not now. I don't want to talk. We have nothing to talk to her about. We have nothing to say. He said the time is not wanted now. We don't want to talk to her right now. We don't want to move forward. Kiki in the confessional says she feels rejected. Damn it, you should, because you shouldn't have come. You shouldn't have come. You just shouldn't have come. Like, there's no way around that. So Kiki also says in the confessional that she apologizes for the action, but she's not sorry for what she did. We then get Marceau and Melody talking about how they've worked through their communication issues and things are better because, in the past, Melody would have said, I said what I said, and Tisha would have blew up and believed every little thing. Tisha did. Tisha did believe the worst immediately. So I don't even know why Marceau is throwing Tisha's immature ass in. Tisha had completely disassociated herself from the scene. That was all that happened tonight. Like, it wasn't, it was just 2 scenes long. 2 scenes long. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Have a Merry Christmas and a very safe, no, we'll be back before New Year's. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.